This video is not sponsored and has no adverts. Hello and thanks for joining me for some more landscape photography. Today I thought I'd come down for sunrise in the lovely Eryri Valley at Rhyd Ddu. Specifically, at the moment I'm just on the shores of Llyn y Dywarchen. There's a really nice bluff here, and don't see too many images from this bluff. Most people head straight over to the far side of the lake. I'm looking across towards Aran with about 30 minutes before sunrise. The water is lovely and still at the moment. Remains to be seen if it stays that way. It's quite a rarity in the Eryri area that even if it's lovely and glassy at first light, you soon get a breeze coming up. Some little dustings of snow on the summits. A garn just over there looks absolutely fabulous. As I got here, the moon was just setting over the shoulder of a garn. I thought there's an image there, but it's clouded over, unfortunately. Anyway, I've got plenty of time to have a nose around. Not planning to spend too long today. It's not a big day out. Maybe 3 or 4 images. We'll see how we get on this morning. There's more than one video on this channel with me mucking about just within this few meters here. And also I've got a nice line of sight down some layers towards Moel Hebog. Might do something with that. Probably spend an hour or so here once the sun actually gets up. Assuming I don't freeze to death because it's absolutely bitter this morning. So today, even though I'm not really hiking very much, I'm traveling really light. You're sitting on the tripod that I featured in my last video, which, including the ball head, about 850 grams, so no trouble at all. And then I've just got this little pouch again. Today I've got 4 prime lenses with me. I've got a 25mm on the camera at the moment. I've got a 9, a 15, and then the only non-prime is my long zoom, which I fell in love with this lens in Norway. This is the Lumix 35-100 f4 to 5.6. It's a basic little kit lens. Weighs, I don't know, 120 grams if that, and it's unbelievably good. And being so lightweight, I very rarely carry anything heavier for longer focal lengths. Might as well go and wait in the car. I was right about that ripple coming up on the lake. There's nothing to do at the moment. I'm just standing here with about half an hour. I kind of know what images I want to go for. The conditions are lovely. I just need the sun to come up. It's not one of those mornings where you're shooting before sunrise, because I don't expect it to light up the base of the clouds. They're a little bit low for that sort of thing. A bit of projected light over on a garn wouldn't go amiss. As you can see, the sun is just about to put in an appearance exactly where I anticipated it would. Ignore my chunky fingers. I'm not taking these gloves off. It's absolutely perishing. What I will do, though, is just switch off the information. So this is the composition I'm going for. I've run these rocks here diagonally across. I haven't got the tripod too high because I don't want too much lake. A hint of lake is fine. It would have worked much better if the ripple hadn't come up, but you know, it was always going to. And the thing is, if you look there at the scene I'm looking at, the highlights in the coal there between the peaks are absolutely blinding. So very difficult exposure-wise. It'll be interesting to see if I've actually managed to pull this one off. I did get a hint of light just on the bottom of those clouds. I don't know whether I've caught it or not, whether I'll be able to do anything with it, but absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at it. I'm freezing. My hands are like blocks of ice. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to have to turn you around. That beautiful shaft of light there on the flank of Aran. I'm going to have to point my camera at that any minute now. But anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Absolutely freezing. I'm getting too old for this malarkey. I've been doing it a really long time, and every winter I suffer more and more with the cold. I'm almost becoming less of a photographer, and finding that coming out to somewhere like this is more experiential, if that makes any sense at all. I mean, you know, it's nice to make images. That's the whole point of it. Oh my goodness, look at Moel Hebog. Right, it's time for me to run round and do some photography, having said all that drivel. I don't know, but that morning light on Moel Hebog is absolutely stunning. Let me just... Oh, my tripod is at all bonkers angles. Let me turn you around. Look at that beautiful morning light on Moel Hebog and mist. Right, let's do something with that. I have a strong suspicion this video might be total garbage, because once the light started happening, I've kind of been struggling a bit. My fingers are so cold. And I'm in the wrong angle for shooting Moel Hebog. It just looks spectacular, but I needed to be over on the flanks of Wyddfa, somewhere up the Rhyd Ddu path, to get that angle across the valley. I bring workshop clients here, and we head up that side and look back this way. And it's not often you get this high quality, stunning light and stunning conditions. The cloud and mist on the angle of Moel Hebog is just incredible. So my next target here, if I just turn you round and show you, I'm going to get a shot of this beast. This is a Aran Nantlle. And then looking over that way, you can see Craigabera, just a little slice of light on the upper reaches. What a morning. I don't even know if I'll put this out, if I'm honest. Might just keep it for my own memory box for years to come. What a stunning morning. I'm really struggling. I'm really cold. I'm shivering, so I can barely handle the controls of the camera. And if I take my gloves off, it's you know, not feasible. So I've been all fingers and thumbs with the controls, partly because of cold, partly because of, wow, what a morning. What I should have done is literally just come here and sat on a rock and watched the sun come up. Sometimes when you're out with the camera, you spend too much time mucking about and forget to enjoy what's actually going on in front of you. Wow, that sun's really bright now. Okay, Aran Nantlle. I'm hopeful of 3 shots from here. I've got that 35 to 100 on Moel Hebog, I'm using my 15mm f1.7. It's such a good landscape lens. People are asking me, why am I using primes? It just kind of slows you down and makes you stop and think about it. Although, to be honest, on a morning like this, I could have done with just dialing the different focal lengths in rather than trying to swap lenses. But warming up a bit though, that sun's nice, but it's not gonna cure my frostbite. It probably lost 3 fingers, maybe 4. So I think what I might do is just go and sit in the car for a while, warm up a bit, and then head back down to the valley and just take a little walk along the flank of Llyn y Dywarchen maybe. Right, I've changed my mind about trying to get warmed up. I'm going to head over to the other side of the lake. There's absolutely no way I can pass up that light. I'll just have to do some star jumps or something to warm up. But yeah, it's a classic image. I've shot it before. It's the old building and there's 2 ash trees and you need to line them up so it looks like one. I've seen many an image where they're just not quite lined up and I think, oh no, if only you'd stood 2 feet to your left or whatever. I'm going to pop round there and grab an image because this light is just beautiful and it should last a while. We're still early enough in the year that I don't have to worry about it petering out. Later on, of course, what would happen is that about now, which is 45 minutes or so after sunrise, it's getting a bit harsh, but there's no rush, early March, so we can take advantage of it. Oh, they've put a new bridge here over the stream. Oh, what a pity. I really like the old bridge. It was falling to bits, but it had a bit of character to it. I suppose the problem is if some bozo hill walker twisted their ankle on it or something, somebody would get sued. Well, there's good news and bad news. Unfortunately, the bad news kind of outweighs the good news in that, as you can see, the light has completely gone. That said, it's still a fabulous vista, and with a little bit of snow on the mountain ridge behind, we can still do something with it. So I'm going to get set up here, and who knows, the light might come back, but I'm looking at the clouds and a bit doubtful. The good news is I've warmed up a bit, so sorry about all the moaning earlier. Well, I got my light, had to wait quite a while, so it is a bit harsh now, if I'm honest. Standard composition here, get this beautiful old dry stone wall that just kind of snakes its way in, nice little S-curve and leads you into the ash tree. But then you've got over on the right hand side this fabulous vista, so I've got my tripod up as high as it'll go so that I've got a decent angle down onto the lake. Took a bit of working out this particular composition, even though the main feature, the wall and the tree, is pretty easy. It's how you position that. So what I've done is I've gone quite wide, shooting at 9mm, f8, lots of exposure blend, focus stack, all that sort of thing, because I got dry stone wall in the bottom right corner of the composition that's really close to the lens, and then of course I'm shooting out to infinity. But the main thing is the exposure blend. The light is kind of coming and going. What I've done is I've left the camera without mucking about with it. I can see another image over there. There's a little tree on the side of the island and there's some beautiful backlit layers. And if I had another camera with me and a 100mm lens, I'd be on that. I'm not going to change my composition for now. I'll file that one away and go, okay, maybe I'll come back to it later. But for now, I'm just waiting to see what the sky does. And this is kind of the sort of photography that I really like. The image is there. I've got a bunch of exposures already on the card. Now let's just wait and see what happens, because very often, once you set up, you know, it might be that, right, there's the shot and you take it. But on the other hand, what happens if in half an hour the sky does something stunning? I've got nowhere else to be. So I can just sit on a boulder and enjoy the view and wait it out, because the light, once those clouds kind of get involved, it's a bit special. I just need them to softbox it a bit for me. I think I'm pretty much all done for today here. I've had a fabulous morning and a terrible one at the same time. It's been quite frustrating, it's been quite challenging, but what a morning though, really. Wonderful place to watch the sun come up. I think I've got 1 or 2 half decent images. If I have, I'll put them up in a little gallery at the end, as I usually do. But I'm going to leave it there for this one. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, why not subscribe and join me next time. Cheers.